Welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. Today's topic is all from your highest self, a message that you may need to hear today about things that are going on in your life, a message that your highest self feels like you need moving into the future as well. And they are calling it a bit of an urgent message for someone watching, so if you have stumbled across this channel, this message may be waiting for you. And I do have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Pile number 1 here with the 7 of Wands. Pile number 2 with the 4 of Cups. Pile number 3 with the 3 of Wands. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there could be messages waiting from your highest self today. And my timestamps are listed below. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys for all of your beautiful comments. I really appreciate them. I get to read them all. I can't respond to all of them, but I do go through them. And I really appreciate all of the light that you bring into my life and the light that you bring into each other's lives as well. You're very supportive of each other in the comment section. And that's what I really wanted to create when I created this channel, was just a place for us, all of us, to come together when we're all exploring the same weird themes in life and be able to find that support system. So thank you so much for helping me to create that space. And if you are new to the channel, we welcome you here with open arms. We are a very inclusive space, so please come forward. Join our beautiful soul family by subscribing to the channel. And as a thank you for your presence here, I do offer a chance to win a free tarot reading. So be sure to drop your comment below any of my readings this month for your chance to win. And be sure to hit your notification bell, because that's how I notify you to get the ball rolling for your free reading. I will never send unsolicited DMs here or on Instagram or on TikTok or anywhere else. So be sure to follow the links that I have listed below my videos if you would like to reach out to me. But for today's topic, an urgent message from your highest self. What do they want you to know? Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hi, pile 1. You were drawn to the 7 of Wands, and this is your reading. An urgent message from your highest self at this moment. What do they feel like you need to hear? They do feel like you are struggling, and you could be struggling in the dynamics of your family, maybe even in the work realm too. And I feel like what you produce in your family, I feel like a loving family is really important to you. I feel like the work you produce in your work realm is really important to you. This could also be speaking about struggles that you're currently having with a person, maybe a partner, maybe a work partner, for instance. It just speaks to like the effort that you're putting in right now. It's like everything feels like work, perhaps, in this moment. So let's take a look and see what your higher self wants to express to you. An urgent message, please, for pile number 1 from their highest self. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the King of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Empress. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the Sun, and we have the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like this is really important. We also have the 6 of Cups, and we have the 9 of Swords. And the deck is being split in half today, so we're going to actually just listen to what Spirit has to say. Here's the 9 of Wands. Here's the 5 of Wands. So I can't deny, pile 1, that I feel like there's a lot of discord in relationships right now, and maybe even in your goals in relationship. And I am reading for the collective, so I'm going to have a lot of different energies floating into the reading. So if it doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different reading, or just disregard that message, of course. But I do feel like there's a conflict here between the King and the Empress. And I feel like these conflicts have almost created a version of yourself that you don't like. It's like, this is not the version of yourself that you want to express. Maybe you've been dealing with conflict for a long time. Maybe you've been dealing with this idea of loss for a really long time and not reaching the motivated goals in your relationship that you really wanted to reach. Some of these goals could be children, for instance. Some of these goals could be financial in nature. There's just a feeling about not getting what you want right now out of this collaboration. And 2 people not necessarily getting what they want right now out of this collaboration. But they're also highlighting 2 people that care deeply for each other as well. Like there is a feeling that even if we can't see it in this moment because there's discord or frustration, that we actually care very, very deeply about each other. And a lot of our struggles are coming out of anxiety or nerves or just depletion, like an exhaustion that's coming through. And I do feel like there is this feeling of like anticipation of what's coming next and what I want to build. Because the beaver here is a very family-oriented creature. So you may be very oriented towards building your family with a partner, for instance. Even the King of Cups can be a very strong fatherhood energy. The Empress, of course, is filled with fertility. And so there's a feeling about our patience wearing thin, though, to create the type of life and relationship that we envision for ourselves. And I feel like there's a sense of like almost devastation. 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles coming out now. Like a devastation about being disappointed that my expectations haven't come through yet. And maybe in regards to, again, commitment cycles, family energies. But they're actually showing, you know, when a beaver's chewing on the edge of a tree, it'll chew for a while and then it'll stop and it'll listen. And they're really highlighting that for you in this moment. Your higher self wants you to take a moment out of the frenzy, out of the overthinking, out of maybe even a sense of loss that you've already experienced. And they want you to take a moment to ground yourself and listen to the notes of inspiration that are coming in, or listen for the voice of your highest self that's here to calm you, that's here to support you during this period of time, because they know what your goals are and they're here to help direct you towards those goals with your partnership. And they're talking about grief and joy that can coincide at the same time. So perhaps you have suffered a loss in your relationship. Maybe you have suffered, you know, within a pregnancy, for instance. No matter what that loss looks like, we can have joy and grief in the same room at the same time. And they're talking here about commitments to our heart space and the commitment we have to put forth the effort and the determination to not give up on each other or on our goals as well. Because Spirit wants you to know, and your highest self wants you to know, that you don't see it right now, but they want you to look to the future, and your future holds so much love. To be honest with you, your future could hold children. There's an emphasis on family here. And the work that you're putting in now with a partner is so, so important. The Knight of Pentacles, when he's consistent, will make it to whatever destination he's directed in. And if he can be directed towards the Knight of Swords, and he'll make it there. But he can also be directed to the Six of Cups and the Sun. And the Six of Pentacles reminds us that we reap what we sow. So they are talking about more like listening more to each other to gain a new perspective. They're saying that sometimes the Divine Feminine has more of a voice, and the Divine Masculine feels like they're just kind of along for the ride sometimes, or they're having to take a back seat even with their own emotions. And that's why they're actually encouraging the Divine Feminine to be more willing to listen to the perspective of the Divine Masculine in this connection. Yeah, here's the King of Cups. Because this person's in your future. I feel like this person, again, there's a loving connection here that I'm feeling. And I feel like this person, like there's a Divine Masculine energy in your life that will often minimize their own experience or their own emotional needs in lieu of yours. And this is where it's like, if we want to build this beautiful collaborative family or situation or abundance, then we have to work in tandem. We have the Emperor. I feel like there's a sense of this Emperor who is not unaffected by emotion, but tries to be really strong. Here's the Knight of Pentacles. And the truth is that your highest self says that even though it doesn't feel like it right now, you could be struggling, but the determination you show towards your goals are going to pay off. We may have to be more patient than we would like to in this moment with the Knight of Pentacles, with this little snail growing down the bottom of the card. But the truth is that news is coming in for you. And it's like it comes in the midst of your grief, or it's like in the midst of your disappointment. It's like we're not even trying to succeed, and we succeed just by staying focused. Because your higher self has something up her sleeve. Here's the King of Swords. They're also suggesting for the Divine Feminine to allow the Divine Masculine to take more of a leadership role, and to take more of a role where you are more supported and you allow yourself to be. You allow yourself to be supported. Because I also feel like there's a feeling of almost like doctors or something for someone watching. If you've been dealing with doctors or like an illness, or maybe doctors when it comes to fertility, for instance, there's a sense of like working, it's like taking more advice, not even advice, but respecting more this doctor's opinion than respecting your partner's. And they're giving me a lot of fatherhood energy here. And here's the Ace of Cups. Back of the deck is the Hermit. Here's the Eight of Cups. And they're saying actually the frustration, the worst is behind you. The worst is behind you, but they aren't denying with this Knight of Pentacles, with that Seven of Pentacles that we just saw, that for the next little while, for the next couple of months, for instance, you may still feel uncertain. You may still feel impatience. It doesn't mean that it's actually a cause for impatience, because they see things in your future opening up the way that you want them to. They see that you're right on course. They're asking for just a last push of independence. They're asking for just a last push of confidence so that we can get you to that future outcome. And they want you to understand that even if you've suffered losses, even if you've experienced disappointments, that there is a peace coming in. And they're speaking about a communion of peace. It's like the two of you coming in. It's like two people that are going to experience peace. So they're actually telling you that you have nothing to fear. But they do want you to stop and listen, to ground yourself to the Hermit's energy so that you can hear that loving encouragement from your highest self. And you can also hear the loving encouragement from other people. And you can also perhaps notice the ways in which people that are close to you are also struggling, so we can be a force together. We have spread your wings. Do not hold back. The timing is perfect. You are ready to soar. And you know what to do. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. But we can't do that unless we're grounded to that Hermit's perspective. It says be very gentle with yourself and surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. And I will say that if we are dealing with someone, it's like we have reliability in our relationships already. It's like you have people that are loyal to you. And I do feel like a definite softness in the heart of this King of Cups as well. Message you need from your highest self, please. Prosperity lies ahead. New beginnings coming in for you as well. And they're talking about springtime in general. So this change for you may not be as far off as you really want it to be. But we're working on the growing conditions right this moment. We have strength, and we also have letting go. Back of the deck says manifesting dreams. And it's not a beaver, but it is an otter, which is a very similar creature, both water elements. And they're, again, the otter, a very family-oriented creature. And the otter will oftentimes hold the hand or like hold on to its companion so that they don't float away from each other. And I feel like that's so important as you are going through this process of change and transition, that you don't grow apart from your partner, that you actually ground yourself, because you have a very mutual challenge ahead of you and a mutual abundant scene coming in too. Again, you may be focused on abundance in your financial realm. It feels more motivated by the heart though. It does feel like we have motivations towards building a life together, building a family together, and your guides see that coming in for you. You are in the process of manifesting your dreams, and they want you to understand that even if it doesn't feel that way, you are right on track. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1. So even though it's like you're worrying needlessly, I can't deny that for someone watching, I am feeling like a pregnancy energy coming through. We have wishes in the Divine Feminine's perspective, and maybe some frustrating delays to your gratification, but Spirit says you're going to get there. And maybe this has been familiar for you. You've experienced losses, but again, Spirit says the desires of your heart are going to come. We have Y and O and G and Q. We do have here the acorns of potential. We're just planting them. We have the stethoscope. So again, I did sense for someone watching a doctor intervention or a professional of some kind. We do have the lips of attraction. And we have a dime. It's coming from 2001, and they're speaking about the Six of Swords and transition. I think of Libra energy. Here's the apple of temptation and education. And we do have this horse that's looking back and hesitating. So I always think of the Chariot, of emotionally being pulled in different directions and before we arrive. But you are, it says, brave, happy, strong, thankful, compassionate, all of the beautiful traits that you possess. They are encouraging listening more to our partnerships as well. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Please drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link. I have an Etsy link below for a private reading. I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But please come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile two. You are drawn to the Four of Cups, and this is your reading. A message from your highest self, your future self, an urgent message that you may need to hear today. Now, the Four of Cups talks about feeling frustrated and bored in life. You could feel like you're being ignored by somebody specific as well. Because it doesn't speak to a lot of growth with the Four of Cups. So you could just be feeling stuck in life emotionally. Maybe you're stuck in a situation romantically that isn't progressing, and you're just frustrated, or you're just stuck in life in general, and you're feeling kind of apathetic and almost like numb at times to the future, to change. It's like you don't even know what to hope for perhaps anymore. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants to address for you. I'm going to use the Joie de Vivre Tarot for you at this moment. For pile number two, a message from their highest self. We have the Knight of Coins. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have Judgment. Coming out with the Hierophant. Back of the deck, we do have the Ace of Swords and the Six of Coins. Now, they're really highlighting here how this rabbit has some type of, like, I don't even know what I would want to call that, a cone or something around their neck. It could be restricting the voice. They are giving me a message about someone who has their eye on specific connection. It's like maybe your heart is monopolized in a specific place. Your future self says that you are going to be meeting somebody new soon, potentially within the next couple of months. And this path that you're on is going to lead you. It's kind of interesting because it wants to lead you this way, but your head's turned this way. And so they're trying to ask you gently to seek out some more information about this new opportunity. They feel like you're waiting for someone to call you or waiting for someone to come forward. And the observations that we've made up to this point is that this person's been very complacent. And in the very least, they've been taken too long to get here. So their time frame may have reached an expiry. They may have run out of time because there's a strong momentum propelling you forward. And your highest self says that it's actually maybe the best thing that's ever happened to you, that this person that you have your focus on is not focused on you in return. Like you may be feeling overlooked or ignored by the things that you want in your heart. But this emotional frustration that you feel is actually a symptom that's supposed to show you a new path, or a symptom to try to get you to seek out information elsewhere. Because there's this nudge of they're pushing you forward, but the Judgment says you're still responsible for that key. We can make really strong suggestions about this future opportunity, but there's something holding you back, and it's fearing losing that older person or that another person who's being very complacent anyway. And they aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that is an observation that, yes, can sting, but can also liberate us. It's like, thank you for giving me the information that I need. It's kind of like on the online dating world, where it's like all the information is available to you, so you can weed out the crazies. You can push them aside, and you can thank them for revealing themselves so quickly. But they're also highlighting, the heart wants what the heart wants sometimes. But your highest self wants you to want more for yourself. Wants you to want more for yourself completely. Now, for others watching, because I'm reading for the collective, this could also be corresponding with an opportunity in the financial realm. You may be considering a new option in career that's coming forward as well. And again, this is the same message. This is a path that could lead you to a very strong position. The Nine of Pentacles is a lot of money, or it's a position in life that I'm really happy that I took the chance. I'm really happy that I pushed through my obstacles to get here. I'm really happy that I didn't quit to get here, because the Nine of Pentacles, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career, you're super happy there. You're super happy there. We have here the Page of Pentacles, and they're asking us, they're saying, your higher self is like, I'm trying to set the stage for you. I'm trying to set the table for your abundance. I'm trying to give you the full spectrum and how you're feeling right now so that you give yourself permission to move forward. It's like it's a gift that we've been showing you the apathetic approach towards you. It's a gift because ultimately it's going to bring you to where you want to be overall. You're going to see the gift in this later on, just not right this moment. And they're saying that there's a part of us that wants to explore this new opportunity, but still wants to kind of hold space for this old energy. And this is where Spirit says, beware of greed. Beware of greed here with the piggy banks. It's like the deposits that we make now, literally, we're going to receive a dividend later. So this momentum of the Eight of Wands that is propelling you forward, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off now. The deposits you make are going to pay off now. The deposits you make towards new emotional starts are going to pay off now. And it's going to reveal itself as it's supposed to. Now they're showing me like a picnic and a bunch of ants that are taking food away from the picnic. And I feel like that's them saying, you know, that there's time now, it's like, to do the work. And they're highlighting too, like the abilities of you. You know, the ant can sustain 10 times its body weight. So it's like maybe you don't feel like you can or you're capable of moving forward. But you won't know until you see what's available to you in that contrast. And they say that it's apples and oranges of what's available to you in this contrast. They do feel like you're going to start communicating with someone online, and they feel like it's going to be a very flirty communication, and you're going to feel this instantaneous, I feel like it's almost like excitement. They're funny. It's playful, but there is still something holding you back. And this is why your future self, your highest self, is coming forward saying, allow yourself to coast. We are setting a table. The 19 of the Sun is here now as well. Here's the King of Swords. And they're highlighting like an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They're showing me somebody kind of slim and tall who has been quiet, or who hasn't come forward, or who hasn't given you enough attention, if I'm being honest. They haven't given you enough attention. They may not have the strength to, and we're not trying to throw them under the bus. They're just asking you to consider this alternate path now. This could be the person holding you back. And maybe they don't have the strength to be completely direct and honest with you about their willingness at this moment, which is why they aren't coming forward. Here's the Eight of Pentacles now. And here's the Nine of Swords. But you can see that it's a mermaid. They're asking you, your highest self is asking you to stop trying to make something from the past happen. Because maybe it wasn't supposed to evolve. And maybe we're trying so hard to even manifest it and focus upon it. But when we're manifesting, we're supposed to be manifesting based on our highest good overall. So they're encouraging you, your higher self is encouraging you to, in the very least, take a look at this new opportunity here. They say that it may take you a while to break free of those emotional tethers from this person. Even here's the Wheel of Fortune. Because it's almost a codependent attachment at this point. Here is the Wheel of Fortune. But the decision that you make right now has the potential to change everything. The decision you make over the next couple of months has the potential to change everything for you. And nothing changes if nothing changes. And so the caveat for change at this moment is going to be your force. Because if you are waiting for someone else, someone from the past to come forward, Spirit says that's where it's going to sting the most, because they feel like you're going to continue to be ignored. And there's work that we're being called to do to get ourselves out of an overthinking cycle, because we may have created the habit out of thinking about this person, focusing on manifesting this person, and now we need to apply that habit forming nature into something more productive. So we have the choice. That's what they really want us to understand. They're not going to force us, but they are nudging us very strongly, because your future self has already been where you are and wants to see you here where she is or where he is. But when we get pushed to the Hierophant doorway, we still have to overcome our own hurdles. The reflection of the judgment is for us to release, for us to create new beginnings. So they're asking you to stop trying to make certain things happen with certain people, and instead surrender to the changes that are coming in for you. Surrender to a new emotional love that will be more supportive. They're saying that this connection is going to feel like, again, apples and oranges. If the old person was never around, this new person is always around. We have expansion, and they say news is on the way. We have activation time, number 36. And I love this because it reminds me of the Four of Wands, actually. We have the Four of Cups here in your back of deck. And they're giving me the sense of like a May celebration. You can see we have the swan at the bottom of the card, and she's all about taking a deep dive into discernment, because your highest self is trying to get you to your partner. It's like your lifetime partner here. Back of the deck is the fire spirit, the energy spirit. It reminds me a lot of the Two of Wands here with the two elements in her hands. So they're predicting that you're going to be changing approach or changing directions. And this might make you feel vulnerable for a while. It might take a while to, again, break those threads from the past connection. But Spirit says you're going to be so, so happy if you persevere and enter into something new. Don't let your past hold you back, is what they're really trying to establish here. The person coming forward could also be very different from your usual type. We have you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. But look at how it's the highest self reaching down to support you in this moment. They're offering creative feedback. They're also saying that the person coming forward for you is not going to leave you guessing or emotionally confused. They have very clear intentions, and they'll make those intentions very clear to you. And Spirit says that they're very, crystal clear intentions. They're very authentic about it. We have you are extra sensitive right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. And they're talking about your heart space and how it feels inside in the current state that you're in, with the holds that you're feeling. Because it doesn't feel good to feel overlooked or to feel frustrated or helpless in a situation. And what they're offering you in the unknown is the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. You can't go wrong when you listen to Spirit. But of course, they will honor and respect where you are in this moment, of course. Let's get a charm bowl, please. For pile number 2. Three of Pentacles. They say that in this moment, you are experiencing like a lack of support, a lack of attention, a lack of support. Somebody's taking a passive approach because they feel like they can. They're taking a passive approach because maybe they're a bit of a collector and they're not ready for commitment cycles the way that you are. This is not fair. It doesn't feel good, and Spirit's not trying to whitewash that. But what they are saying is that justice is always true. You know, so the way that they're projecting themselves at you is a very authentic representation of what they are and who they are and what they're available for in this moment. And so we can be smug in our own right and observe that and not internalize it. So it gives us more of even like an excuse or permission to move forward. And I feel like you'll have the last laugh. Like, I know that sounds terrible, but I feel like you'll have the last laugh because you're moving into something really abundant. The lemonade, making lemonade out of lemons. We have the leaf with a bite out of it, so it's like taking a bite out of change. We have the lungs, and it's reversed, so they're talking about somebody who's not expressing themselves or not talking to you the way that they should be. They are saying that this person has a lack of confidence. They are also saying that they're kind of emotionally immature, so they're highlighting that. We have independence with the Leo energy and the letter A. We also have Cupid's arrow next to the key. So we don't need new people to come in to give us excuses to move forward, but sometimes those collaborations are very, very helpful. And I just keep hearing leaving on a jet plane. So we can give because we have Cupid's arrow coming in, there's no point in not grabbing onto it. In the very least, it'll be more fun than the Four of Cups. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell, of course, otherwise I can't reach out to you. I have no way of doing it. Be sure to look at my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to as well. And I do update that shop every day. It does sell out quickly, but it gets relisted every day. So I hope you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the Three of Wands, and this is your reading. A message, an urgent message from your highest self. What do they feel like you need to know right this moment? They're talking about the work you're doing now and how important it is for your future. That wherever you're sitting in life in this moment, whether it's a problem in your mind or problem in the physical, it's just a temporary situation, that this too shall pass. And the work that you're doing in this moment is so incredibly important for future trajectory, and they just really want to emphasize that. So if you are struggling in this moment, this is Spirit's way of really telling you that everything's going to be okay, but to not give up. They're also really highlighting the home, so I'm very curious about that. So let's take a look here and see an urgent message from your highest self. What do you need to hear? We have the Strength. I just heard, hold on, hold on. We have the Six of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. The Two of Pentacles. The Four of Cups. We have the King of Swords, and we have the Fool. And we're going to clarify this as we go forward here. The Two of Wands. The Eight of Cups. It's too many. Move those back. Although they are highlighting, they just showed me the Eight of Wands. They are highlighting like frustrating delays, and I feel like we need to actually look at these, but they are highlighting some frustrating delays, but I don't necessarily want to keep all of these. That's a lot. But this is a beautiful message, I have to admit. I'm going to have to keep them. It's a beautiful message. We're going to keep this because this is like the encouragement bonanza that Spirit has now for you in the present moment. And if I don't listen to them, they're just going to throw them out again at me. Ace of Swords. Here's the Five of Wands. Here's the Seven of Cups. Here's the Six of Pentacles. They're actually highlighting a lot of energy for the Divine Feminine here in this moment. And they're talking here about moving. And how you don't recognize that there's already momentum towards moving. So you could even be concerned about like where you're living right now. And maybe you have goals towards like home ownership or moving to a different city or upgrading your life in this moment. And it's like you're not happy with where you are and you feel sometimes really discouraged here too. Like even with the Seven of Cups, sometimes we go into shadows of doubt instead of shadow work when we see a situation as limiting instead of lots of options available to us, because they're talking about the freedom of choice. And they're speaking about how we can choose to feel frustrated by what we would call delays, but what Spirit calls like building. Instead, we could also be celebrating, right? We could be excited about what's coming next. Like we know that we're waiting for things. Maybe we're waiting for a new home. Maybe we're waiting for security. We're waiting for it, but we're living in this moment and we're supposed to be living because there's already a strong momentum. And your guides want you to know that they do see like you moving. That the current environment that you're in, the house that you're in, for instance, is just temporary. But they're saying that temporary location that you're in is also kind of mirroring like your mindset, because it's hard for you to tell yourself that it's just temporary. And they're talking about like limitations in the mind that can make you feel like apathetic or not. And that's why they're really highlighting the work you're doing now towards your mindset. ultimately towards your productivity is so important, because if we think it's impossible to achieve our goals, it becomes our gospel. We won't even try. But if you turn that around and you're saying, I feel sometimes like I'm helpless, but I'm curious about how Spirit's going to show me determination today and help me to feel motivated towards determination today. They're actually saying here that like you have this, I don't know if you have like a 2-year time span where you're like, you really expected a lot of change to come in, or you're expecting a lot of change to come in. And Spirit is actually encouraging you to act now, because they see these next 2 years being a huge foundation phase for a new home. A really abundant home too. But they want you to change your approach or change your direction. They want you to change your attitude in some way, away from apathy and towards like determination, because that's what the Five of Wands really speaks to. It's the competition in our mind that eliminates our determination and starts to make us feel frustrated and make us feel like there's too many obstacles in front of us to clear out. We can convince ourselves that some things are absolutely insurmountable because of the finite nature of our mind and our expectations. But the plans that you're making now, we can dig in and see those through to completion. And they're talking about reaffirming the commitment to your own heart space and your own confidence in your ability to achieve. You may not even, and I don't even feel like you're doing this alone. They say that you could be doing this with a partner. This could be a collaboration that you're creating. And in the very least, it's a collaboration with your highest self. This version of you that's already sitting pretty in that position already. So the way that you're looking at your current realm in this moment, and it feels very practical for some people, your current housing situation, maybe you're not happy about it. The energy that you put into adjustment, the energy that you put into motivation is going to be playing a major role in the outcome for the future as well. And they're not denying that it requires strength to make a plan and then to execute it, because Spirit says sometimes we get stuck at the planning phase. And we want to manifest growth in our life, growth in our relationships, growth in our homes, but we don't take the inspired steps to get there. And then we get frustrated when it doesn't show up. And then we kind of blame ourselves and say, well, I didn't focus on it hard enough. But the truth is we didn't apply it. We didn't apply it hard enough. So they say that our goals, when it comes to what we want to achieve, are not going to naturally come for us, that we will have to make a plan and execute that plan. And again, this situation that you're in only has to be temporary. We have a choice to what type of energy we surrender to. We can surrender to apathy and frustration and insecurity. We can surrender to that if we choose to. The universe will always say yes to us. Or we can surrender to momentum. We can surrender to abundance. We can surrender to hope as well. And again, there's movement. This Eight of Wands is speaking about you moving, physically moving. And I feel like this is going to be coming in over the next couple of years. But that time frame is also contingent upon your effort. So we can lower that time frame. We can reduce it by implementing a lot of effort now. And they want you to have more compassion with yourself. It's like maybe you blame yourself, or you're really a critical like message to yourself comes through. We have here change. You notice there's dragonflies flying around the King of Swords. There's dragonflies in your change card, and we're being asked to surrender to it. They want us looking for the future, and they're saying that we feel like we're always waiting in a perpetual state of wait. But the dragonfly, he doesn't wait for anything. He becomes so hungry for his success that he just stops at nothing for that growth. You're learning to not just surrender to change and change directions or change approaches in your focus, but you're also learning to make the adjustments as you go. You're learning to trust yourself as well, to trust in your higher self, because that's what they're really asking for. We will sometimes have a trust fall, and that's what it's like after you surrender to the motivation, you start to dig in and see something through to fruition. That's when we kind of let our higher self take the wheel. We have joy. And they just said all work and no play makes you a dull boy or girl. So they're making sure that you incorporate in the work that you're being called to do. That's also a part of your work. It's not just all physical and practical and focused in the 3D. The spiritual being inside of us doesn't just need physical rest. Our bodies need physical rest, but our spirits need rejuvenation. You need to go out and have fun. You need to experience abundance. You need to laugh. And the Spirit says that if you start to apply yourself differently in a new motivation of I can versus I can't, you're going to notice a gap being bridged very quickly between where you are and what you want. And again, that period of uncertainty is going to be narrowed very quickly. And you can see both of these creatures are winged creatures that are able to rise above and see things from a different perspective that you can't see. So you can trust in the message that comes in from your highest self. Even if the finite version of your mind right now can't wrap your mind around how is that possible, you don't need to know how you're going to be able to upgrade. You don't need to know how that's going to happen. That's where the faith comes in. Because we have new beginnings. And we can start now. Spirit says we can start now. We don't have to wait for an invitation. We can start in this moment. This change of season that we're coming into right this moment, this new season of spring, is in direct correlation to us and changes that are coming in for us that are available to us. We are as much a part of nature as the trees outside. The back of deck says activation time. I believe this came in for pile number 2 or 1 as well. Now they are saying that in the future, part of the activation of moving physically into a new home, for instance, is going to require leaps of faith from you. But this is also a requirement from you in this moment as well, to have faith in your own new version of logic, to break through. And instead of having like this logical approach where it's like your ego's trying to fuel at you the possible scenarios of why it couldn't work out for you, the Fool says with this little ladybug, why don't we just take the risk of assuming that everything works out for me and assuming that luck is actually on my side and that I actually deserve the position, the home that I really, really want. That's the first step to changing directions, is changing the communication that we tell ourselves. It's time to clear your space, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use Feng Shui. And they're talking about clearing the mind. They keep using the term the concentration camp of the mind, like your concentration getting altered. Extra sensitive to energies right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. They're also highlighting like healthy lifestyle. It's like, again, the things that we say to ourselves, the way that the foods that we eat, the company that we keep, making sure that we are motivated by our own abundance. Helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so that you can clearly see heavenly love and you're actually safe right where you are. You are being protected. Archangel Michael is guarding you against lower energies. They're guarding your loved ones and your home. And again, there is an emphasis on home here, an emphasis on movement. This home that you're in is just temporary. Spirit does see you moving. In fact, they see you moving within the next 2 years. But for some that might feel disappointing because maybe you don't want to be in this home for 2 years. But again, that's just a benchmark in this moment because you are the force. The effort that you put in today is going to be so, so important to the outcome of tomorrow. So they just want you to not self-sabotage by, and I don't feel like you're even in that place right now, but don't self-sabotage by listening to naysayers. Don't self-sabotage by being a naysayer yourself or feeling helpless, because the determination that you're showing to push through that apathy is going to be such a major player here. And surrender to the inspiration that's going to come. Let's get a charm roll, please, for pile number 3. King of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Sometimes the ideas of manifestation and abundance and trying to maintain it goes against what we would call logic. Maybe we have people in our life that are like not on the same page as us as far as logic. It's almost like you're going to be proving them wrong or something. Some people, it's like they're talking about divine masculine energies that are kind of stuck in their own realm of thinking. This could even be applying This message could also now be applied because they just gave me this message about somebody watching, where this message might resonate because you are not just moving into a new home, but the type of connection or relationship that corresponds with that change might also be shifting as well. We have G and P and A. We have here thirst. It's like we're thirsty for change. We're thirsty for a deeper connection in life as well. We have gift and we have the star. So they're actually saying we don't see the gift of this moment. We're just seeing the drawbacks, where it's giving us an opportunity to really reflect upon which direction we want to go in. We have being spoon-fed information through music. So you may have some motivations that come in through the musical realm as well. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comments below for your chance to win a free reading with me. And be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you, of course, if you are chosen. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading. And I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.